on a rotating, whirling, twirling rock in space that is just a fantasy in your head.
Comes to a light in the sky being a gas in a vacuum, second law of thermodynamics violation, a violation of a natural law.
With the chemtrails, they put little, these nanobot things, that come down, come inside of us.
Well, hello and welcome. We are the Shills, a group of YouTube creators and debunkers coming together for live roundtable chats, live debunks, interviews, guests, and much more. Tonight on our crazy little show, we have the fake history of North Korea. Yes, it's Barnabas Nagy. We have the great sprinkler rainbow conspiracy, and Mr. Sensible joins us on the panel. So let me turn this over to a man that once saved a group of school children from the dangers of a flat street preacher. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jim Bojo.
Thank you very much indeed, Dick Dawson. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. I'm Jim Bojo. Welcome to the Silly Shills midweek show. We are the Shills. Hello, very warm welcome to you. Very warm welcome to you all. Thanks for joining us once again. We've got an action-packed show for you today. We've got some ancient aliens, rainbow physics, as well as a meet and greet and a group interview with our special guest. First of all, though, let's meet the team. See who's with us for another dose of midweek madness. So, first up, Dick Dawson. What have you been up to this week?
Preparing some stuff in the background, did a lot of family action. My son and I had some good times, and of course, keeping up in the flat tard community and other pseudoscience nonsense. Yeah, pretty busy. Good times.
Oh, very nice. Good to hear it. Right. Well, next on we've got Sarcastic Barman. How about you? What have you been up to this week?
Hello. I've been quite busy this week. We had a live stream last night, a live stream the other day. I've been live streaming like hell, Christ. A nice video Wednesday night, and a rejected video. I thought, fuck it, I'll put it out. People can see my mistakes. So, yeah.
Oh, very nice. That's very interesting. I've had a look at that one you put out, actually, there. That's a very interesting watch indeed. Right, next on the list, we've got Logical Troglodyte. How are you doing, sir? What's life like in the caveman world?
It is bright and sunshiny, with a chance of Crankosauruses.
Wow. So, what have you got coming out this week that you want to tell people about? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Babes just put out her month-end troglodyte news report. Just been up a few hours already today. I am working on the part 3 of this conspiracy, of the psychology of conspiracies, as well as it's kind of an apology video for Antonio Subaret. He was on AB Science's channel one day, and in and amongst all of the flurf nonsense, he posted a link to an experiment. And of course, I'm sorry, I had a knee-jerk reaction. I said, he's wrong. It's like, wait a minute. A few minutes later, I said, wait a minute. I didn't really evaluate this critically, now did I? So I am going to make a video to correct that.
I see. Well, that's very intriguing. I look forward massively to seeing that when that comes out. Now, I've got the drunk monkey in the house somewhere, haven't I, sir? Oi, oi! How you doing?
Oi, fucking oi! How's it going, man?
Hello, how's it going? What have you got? What you got to do this week?
Well, I already banged out a couple of videos this week, so now I can take a rest. Plus, things are getting busier for me at work. My boss is giving me more hours. He's in the chat. So, hello, Sylvester.
Hello, Sylvester. Lovely stuff. Well, that's good to hear. Dead Kennedy in space. I know you're in the background there somewhere. How are you doing, mate? What have you been up to this week?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been pretty busy, actually, with a few different things. I may very well be hosting a debate between a Blue Earth thing and a Flat Earther on Friday, if I can figure out how to get streaming working. And I've been also engaged in a war with a Flat Earther who says he's not a Flat Earther, and he was the subject of my latest video. And gosh, I wish he'd show up on this stream. I'd love to talk to him right now, the little bastard.
Oh, brilliant news. That's fascinating. Now, let's see. Ozman Cometh, he's doing our producing today. You there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Have you got anything you wanted to talk about before we move on?
Nothing much, just about End the Conspiracies little stream this weekend. Just doing it on Saturday. Apart from that, I'm healing
Okay.
up quite well.
Lovely stuff. Well, this is it. We'd all knew you'd had a bit of an incident back there. How are you doing?
A little bit sore, but I'm getting a bit better.
Okay, well, that's good news. We've obviously been getting a lot of get well soon from the audience too. So, right, Kerry Mack, are you there? How are you doing today? What have you been up to this week? Have you got anything to tell us about?
Hi, I have nothing of exciting news to tell anyone really, other than we've got some amazing guests coming up, so just watch out for that. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything yet, but watch this space.
Oh, very interesting. Well, yeah, absolutely. As ever, keep an eye on all of the content creators who are here on the shows because we put out some fantastic work. And don't forget to keep coming back and watching us twice a week now. Right. Thanks very much. It's good to see you guys. That's the team. But this week, our special guest is the one and only. It's Mr. Sensible. Now, he is a truly prolific creator in the skeptic community. You can't move without seeing the video. You see 2, 3, 4 a week. You'll know him, I'm sure. Mr. Sensible, welcome to the Shills Secret Bunker. How are you doing?
Hey. Hello, Jim. Hello, everyone.
Hello there.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks, mate.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. I wondered if you wanted to start off by telling people, just give them a brief idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Well, I fight stupid with cheese. That's my current. Yeah, I've always been interested in all these conspiratards and creatards and so on. I've followed it for quite a few years, mostly on online forums rather than YouTube. That Flat Earth forum is something to behold, I tell you. Some really weird shit in there. But I decided to come onto YouTube, and I set up this account back last December, I think it was. But life gets in the way, and I couldn't start until just 2 months ago, and here I am now. Well, about 325 subs now, I think.
Yeah, certainly pretty extraordinary explosion onto the scene. Now, what have you been up to recently in terms of your well, you've got videos, content, have you got any ideas or projects, things that have just come out, will be coming out soon that you wanted to let people know about?
Well, today I had my shortest video of ever, the quickest one.
I saw that. That was very good.
I asked everyone to have a look at that. It'll only take you, I think, 1 minute 17 to look at.
Yeah.
I've got another one coming out tomorrow. This guy with this interesting theory that B-2 stealth bombers destroy satellites.
Ooh, that's a new one.
That's what I thought. It's a bit different, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
And I do have my Conspiratar Cheese Awards. I do want some more nominations for that because I want to. Well, I'm going to have to close the nominations soon, and I'll be looking for a big award show at about the time of my 500 subs.
Okay. Well, so to everyone listening in the audience who hasn't already, you will need to get over there and sub to it and make
and
your
be quick
because
the way he's growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Be at 500 in no time. Now, what brought you to the community in the first place? What was it that made you think, look, this is the thing that I definitely want to do? I want to get out there and start debunking these morons. Was there a trigger or a person, something in particular?
Yeah, they're morons. I just don't like. I mean, it's one thing people having a laugh, saying stupid things, but they are fucking with people's minds. I did a video quite some time ago about this girl who believes the moon is a fake hologram. Okay, we've seen others who think things like that, but it's quite obvious to me and to people who commented that she's got some serious mental problems. And this crap that people are pumping out is, it's having a real effect on people.
It genuinely is. Yeah, I worry about the state of education, or even just the view people have of other people with an education as a result of it. Now, look, how do you see the community at the moment in terms of how successful it is, what its failures are, where it's going in the future?
Well, with a combination of YouTube changing their algorithms and so many people, like the guys around this table tonight, putting out such good videos, just totally smashing this rubbish that's being pumped out.
Yeah.
The big worry is we're going to wipe out the flat earthers. We have nothing to talk about.
Well, you say that, but then Barnabas Nagy is still alive, so I suspect that we'll be okay. We've got anti-vax. Hell, there'll always be JFK and Bigfoot, frankly, right?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Now,
actually, one guy who I would recommend people have a look at, I know it's a bit different than the flat earth stuff, but with relation to the creatard stuff, I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of him, but that's Thunderfoot. That's Foot with, F00T.
He's also under the name Voice of Thunder at the moment. If you check that out, you'll find it's still Phil Mason.
Yeah, Phil Mason, that's the guy. And I think he's some sort of nuclear physicist or something, but he really knows his stuff. He really knows his stuff. Great guy.
Yeah. Oh, he is, absolutely. He's done a few live sort of performances. He's been to some conferences. He's done some work with Aaron Ra, Matt Dillahunty, people like that. Really is sort of, he's quite well known from the community, I think. So, yeah, thank you very much for that sort of little mini interview, letting the people out there know sort of who you are and what you're up to. What we're planning on doing now is playing a couple of videos, which you've actually brought for us. We wonder whether you'd like to join in and have a bit of a live debunk with us.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Haha, brilliant. I look forward to that. Right, in which case then, I'm going to hand it over to the master at arms, Dick Dawson, the man himself.
Well, hello again, everyone. Now that we've gone around the table and talked to everybody and we know what everybody's up to, maybe it's time to look at a little video fun. So we have the fake history of North Korea from Barnabas Nagy himself. And if our lovely producer's ready, we could kick it into gear.
An ancient skyscraper in North Korea, and because it's related, I'm also going to talk to you about the North Korean nuclear hoax and fear porn. Let's investigate. I received the following email from Christine. Before I go, have you come across the mysterious huge building in North Korea that is called the Tower of Doom or Hotel of Doom? It's like taller than the highest buildings in New York, and there is an ancient photo that shows it before it was restored recently. The Ukyong Hotel, sometimes spelled as Ukyong Hotel or Ukyong Hotel, is an unfinished 105-story, 330-meter tall, 1,080 feet, pyramid-shaped
money is.
Is it just me, or is that the guy who thinks he's the big mud flood guy, and he's the guy who thinks that there's less than 1 billion people on Earth, right?
Oh,
He
yeah.
is the mud guy, yeah.
God.
Oh, like how can I take him seriously when I already know that?
Well, you
Sorry.
can't. It's Barnabas Nagy. We love him. Sorry, Mr. Sensible. What was that, mate?
Sorry, I was just saying he's also the guy who thinks that those Anunnaki gods have watches that can open time portals and they're controlling our reality.
Of course.
This guy is
Great
fascinating.
sci-fi world.
He's a bit of a favourite on the show here, really. We've had it sort of one or two of his bits on before. He comes up with some of the most preposterous bollocks in the world. He's really an expert at it. I mean, so far he's already made some ludicrous statements, frankly. I think one thing that he said already, now, which one of you guys was this brought it up before? I thought you'd point it out, but he used the words ancient photograph.
That was me, yeah.
There you go, Jutman.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he hasn't said it yet, but he basically says that someone, there's an ancient photograph. An ancient photograph. I didn't know such a thing existed as a fucking ancient photograph. I mean, who took it? A fucking T-Rex? Tyrannosaurus Rex took an ancient photograph? I mean, what fucking camera did he use, for Christ's sake, man? I tell you what, I'd like to take that fucking camera to an antique dealer. Load of bollocks.
Well, this is it, absolutely. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the very oldest daguerreotypes and similar in the last 150, 200 years, basically. And I'm sure that antiquity has to take you back at least, I don't know, a millennia or something. I mean, unless they had a special box with a dude sitting inside with a chisel and a piece of like stone tablet carving out an image at lightning speed. I don't know what the hell he's fucking talking about, right? Anyone?
No. Well, he's a bit mental. I mean, if you look at the photo that he shows, he says a bit, I'm sure he says a bit later on, I don't know if this is a real photo. Well, it doesn't look like it is, because the building we're looking at's got 3 fucking wings, and that one's got a big fucking hill behind it where the wing should be. So, yeah. It's just fucking faked as shit.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
to
but let's
mention
face
this
it.
building's actually in the middle of downtown Pyongyang.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
this
it's like
guy thinks everything is fake. Everything. He probably
He does
thinks his
seem
own
to.
fucking mum's fake.
Right, well, look, let's hit play and see whether or not he's got any more actual explanation for this ludicrous claim, hey?
Yes.
In Pyongyang, North Korea. The building has been planned as a mixed-use development which would include a hotel. The building is currently listed by Guinness World Records as being the tallest unoccupied building in the world. So let's look at Google Maps where it is actually. So I just typed in this hotel and
Go on, Mr. Sensible.
Yeah, did anyone see on that wiki page, he's talking about ancient photographs. Construction started in 1987.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, we look at the Google Maps page. It's the center, as the logical said, it's the center of the fucking city. It's like, I think someone's going to have noticed if there was an ancient building there.
Well, we're going to see his ancient photograph in a minute.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Ugly German Truth says, oh, hi, wish you'd Google Hotel California. Oh, wouldn't that be a hoot?
Oh, dear me. Crack on with it. Crack on.
if I zoom out, we will see that it is in North Korea if it loads up for me. So there we go. Just to place it somewhere so that we can see, here's the world. The fake world that we are told is a globe, and North Korea, there we go, here is this giant. And I want to show you some pictures here. So this is the 1987 picture of the hotel. Look at that. I mean, I don't...
What? 1987?
So this is it in 1987 when they started construction, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, when in 87 did they start construction? Let's have a look here. Oh, it
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
say on
this is
the
the
page
thing,
I've got
actually,
ready.
Barnabas. The history of this building is fairly famous, right? I mean, him claiming that there's this long and venerable ancient history to it is ridiculous when in the city, in the country, everyone knows it's kind of a folly. It's this big failed attempt at a project. So they started it in 87, stopped it in 92 because the money ran out. They started it up again with the intention of finishing it by like 2012, but then they never actually got there, and it's sat unoccupied ever since. And it's been like this great big advertising hoarding for the city that says, look how we waste our money. So
yeah,
making up this 1,000-year history or whatever he's doing is just ridiculous. Everyone knows what it is and how it got there, man. Come on.
And where is the rest of the city?
Yeah.
It's
Can
quite
I
obviously
ask
photoshopped.
It's probably pubs in England older.
My pub is older.
Yeah, there you go.
Kevin
I think,
Kennedy, what do you think about this at the moment?
Well, someone in the chat mentioned they called it Potemkin Tower, and I'm wondering if anybody knows if that's maybe what this is, because like you guys have heard before that North Korea has in the past set up like mock villages for the South Koreans to spy on. Is that what this is? Is that them attempting to say, look, we're a successful country even though this hotel's empty?
That's
I mean,
basically, yeah. It was they started obviously in the 80s, at the end of the Cold War, and it was because they built a big hotel in Singapore or something like that, and this was supposed to be the Russian equivalent of the communist equivalent of it, and yeah, they just went bankrupt because communism sucked. Well, their communism sucked.
All the money went on the military is what basically happens. Is in the end, they're like, we just need another military parade more than we need a big triangular building.
Or food.
Well,
there is that one.
Yeah, but
He brings up
people,
food
they get
later.
shit regardless.
But now he'll bring up food later, Mr. Nagy. Food and electricity are the two things that North Korea sucks at doing.
Yes, this is one of his things, doesn't he? He likes going to is the free energy thing. In fact, should we ask Ozzy to hit play on the video again and see what other ridiculous things he says?
Real or not, whether this is photoshopped or not, but to me it looks very real, and I'm a designer and I don't see any kind of proof for this being photoshopped. And look at that. I mean, what on earth? This.
I don't see any proof of being photoshopped. It's what looks like a fucked up building halfway up a fucking hill with no road to get up to the fucking thing. And if he says, "Oh, it's mud flood," shouldn't it be like covered in fucking mud? It's for fuck's sake. His logic just makes me want to fucking headbutt my table.
And
Also-
how
Sorry,
mud
Barman,
flood
did
just
you say
pile up?
logic?
Oh, his lack of logic.
Don't take my name in vain.
Absolutely. Actually, Logical Troglodyte, while I've got you on the line, what do you think so far, man?
I think he is a wackadoodle dandy.
Well,
and that
put,
is all I got to
Very
say about
polite.
it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if anyone else has got anything to interject with, please do so
Yeah.
now. Otherwise, oh yeah, go on.
Like Mr. Sensible said, where's the rest of the city? Look up any actual photo of this hotel, and it's right dead in the middle of downtown.
Mm-hmm. It's
Right
surrounded by mountains off in the distance, and they built it right where the city was. Absolutely. Although it's
Rider
worth
of
pointing out,
Dino-
it's a news. Oh, Kerry Mack, sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry, how rude. Rider of Dinosaurs is asking, isn't this the guy that previously said that the Earth was shaped like a pyramid?
Do you know what? I haven't
I
come across
don't
that.
know. I've
really.
not heard him say that.
If someone in the chat knows or can do the fact check for us, you know what? Please go ahead and do that because I want to know that. Jumpman.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
And
I
post a
wouldn't
link while
fucking-
you're at it.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't surprise me if he said the Earth was shaped like a fucking ashtray.
Yeah, at this point, they could say any shape. I mean, flat is just as ridiculous as shaped like a bishop's arse. Do you know what I mean? Anything
Yeah.
other than what's obviously fucking in front of you at this point is ridiculous. You could say it's only half a globe. You could say, oh, it seems like a full globe, but it actually ends at the equator. And that's still fucking like just the most retarded thing in the world. There's no shape other than a globular Earth, which isn't ludicrous. I'm sorry. Every time the numbers point to one shape.
Well, I'm working on a
Did I-
theory that it could be shaped like a wheel of cheese.
Is
Well,
that the kind with holes in it?
There are some holes in my theory, yes.
Possibly. We might have to take it back to the drawing board just for a couple of little, minor
Well-
adjustments.
I'll come
well,
back to you
Mr.
on that.
Mr. Sensible, it wouldn't surprise me if you got more of a model out of cheese than a fucking pizza. Put it that way.
Right, now, if anyone else has got something to say, please say so now or forever hold your bit.
I have a clarification.
Kerry, yeah.
Rider of Dinosaurs was talking about the hotel, not the Earth. So
Oh, right.
Really?
That makes a whole context.
I'm going to stop drinking now.
No, you can't. We've got more Barnabas Nagy to get through. If you
Oh,
stop drinking, you might
right.
not make it.
Yeah, you'll go mental.
Yeah, indeed. Right, I think we're going to hit play on the video then.
one-
Some more. Kevin Kennedy, yes, sir.
One very quick thing. I accidentally hid Tommy Gronvold's comment. I meant to hit show and I just misclicked, and now I can't get it to show anymore, so I'm going to read it out because I accidentally hit it.
Okay.
He was talking to End the Conspiracy, and he said, hey, that video of yours, I couldn't be silent anymore, was really great. About time someone told the assholes it's enough. Great work. I felt like End the Conspiracy
Brilliant.
heard that comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done for saying so. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Right, let's move back on. Let's see some more silly Nagy. Come on, what have you got now for us?
And nothing around it. And this is the hotel or the skyscraper that is standing strong. What was the use for this? And if we look closer, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it could be that these are colonial pillars or something. But this size and on this mountain, I mean, this is just crazy. Here's another picture, and on this one we can actually zoom in a little bit more, and maybe these are really some colonial style pillars. But I mean, why would you build something like that? And this definitely seems like after the reset, after the mud flood. The next picture is from 2004, and we can still see the mud all around it, but they took away some pile of
Yeah.
You can
No,
see mud all around it? Where?
I don't see no mud.
I can't see any mud anywhere. Unless he means it just looks a bit dirty. Like they've cleaned the mud away from it.
Or it's a black and white photo.
Logical
Let's
Troglodyte,
face
looked like
it.
you were trying to say something there. Were you trying to say something, or was it just me?
No. I was trying to say something, but I was trying to be polite at the same time. He started that statement with, "I don't know if this is true." Well, if that's the case, then why are you opening your frickin' mouth? Check your facts before you say things. I mean, come on. You know, Jesus.
He is a half a step away from saying, "I'm not saying it's aliens, but," and as soon as that happens, everyone takes a drink, right?
I think everyone should take a fucking drink now.
Yeah, you're probably
am.
right. Where's mine from?
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the problem with him is he's obsessed with mud, isn't he? I mean, we've all seen the mud floods.
so he just rolls around in it in the yard at home.
Oh, he has fucking mud
Like a
wrestling with
pig
his
in
mum.
shit.
I wish I had my medical dictionary. I'm sure there is a condition that actually describes mud erotica. There's got to be.
It wouldn't surprise me,
The
logical.
mudophiliac.
Mud
Right, now-
lover.
Did I hear Ozzy? Osman Kummer. Did I hear him trying to say something a moment back there?
No.
It was just a little something in the background. It's okay.
Okie dokie, fair enough. Well, if that's the case, then I think I'll ask the very same to hit play on the.
Here's another picture. And on this one we can actually zoom in a little bit more. Maybe these are really some colonial style pillars, but I mean, why would you build something like that? And this definitely seems like after the reset, after the mud flood. The next picture is from 2004 and we can still see the mud all around it, but they took away some pile of mud already. This is 2005 and look at that size of building. I mean, this is just crazy. Look at that. Here is a car, here is a person, and here is a bus, and this giant
So where'd the mountain go?
Where does all the roads
right?
suddenly come
Why
from?
is it flat everywhere?
Well, because they had to get rid of all the. Yeah, they had to get rid of all the mud, build the skyscraper, and then rebuild Pyongyang around it.
Question. When they got rid of the mud, did they have to put it all so that they brought all the ground up to the level? Because when I looked, that building was halfway up a fucking mountain, right? So
Well,
they
they
dig
just-
out
they
the
just
mud from
formed it-
underneath it as well. Sorry,
Jim,
Logtruck.
don't spoil a good
I think it's-
conspiracy, mate.
Yeah. Oh no, Irish Stew has just nailed it in the comments. They slid the entire building down the hill.
Well, that's possible. Or they took all the mud and formed it into bricks, and like they did, with the pyramids, and used that for the building material. Maybe you think?
Oh, logical troglodyte. We all know that the pyramids were built by fucking aliens from somewhere.
Israel.
Yeah.
they just happened to be aliens to Egypt. They weren't aliens from outer space. They were just foreign labor that they paid to come and do it.
I thought you had a
Illegal
stroke.
aliens, right? That's all it was.
I'm an
Oh no, they were
alien.
legal. They had their visas and things like that.
Oh, they had their papers. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyone got any further final comments? I'm going to get play again. Otherwise, lovely stuff. In which case, Osman Kummer, would you mind hitting the play button, please, mate?
takes over the whole city. So this is 2009, the same hotel. They are still working on the mud, it seems, but they are working on covering this ancient structure. Okay, so they are covering it up with some new structure, and this old structure is the bare bone of it. This picture is from 2010 October. They are putting the cover on it, and here it is in 2011, and it looks like.
So, am I understanding this correctly? He thinks they're covering things up when what they're doing is finishing building it.
Yep.
Well,
To be fair, this is the same.
Like, does he not understand that the wall of a building that you see when it's finished, there's a lot of shit behind that?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it's like his photos of the mud flood. And he was saying it looks like they're taking the mud away. No, it looks like a building site, mate.
And suddenly they've got all those
Nobody's ever
blocks of
seen a
flats
Doug
everywhere.
foundation.
Oh, hang about. Sorry,
Yeah,
Mr.
probably
Sensible.
not.
I heard
Yeah.
you, but I sort of didn't hear you. What was that, mate?
Yeah, I was just saying, and all of a sudden, just in those couple of years, we've got loads and loads of tenement blocks everywhere.
Yeah, weird. Just sprung up out of nowhere like
Perhaps they
mushrooms
made
in the
them from the
mud.
mud.
I'm sure he says it somewhere. I don't know if we've missed like a half second where he says it, but he goes on about how big the building is. Look at it; it's massive. It's horrendous. To be fair, it's 40 meters shorter than the Empire State Building. And now I know the Empire State Building's a big building, but in modern terms, it's not really, is it? It's a bit pathetic.
You know, for a
so
steel
fucked up,
frame
it's
building, it's pretty
ridiculous.
basic. Mr. Sensible, I talk right over you there. What's that, mate?
It's so fucked up. It's ridiculous.
It is. It is
Very
absolutely retarding ridiculous. These people are wank spanners, as my good Fred Chapman.
Fucking wank spanners.
Chapman, what do you think? I have amazingly, Chapman. I haven't heard from you in a mo. So, what are you thinking at the moment?
Well, I'm just. I mean, the guy's a fucking knob, isn't he? Let's face it. I mean, everything's fake to him, and everything's covered in mud. I swear he fucking lives in a mud hut and dreams about the fucking stuff and has it on his fucking toast. I swear.
Absolutely. Now, bearing that in mind, Kerry Mack actually read one of the comments out to me in our secret shield chat. I wondered if she'd be prepared to read it out for us now. Kerry?
Of course. This is from Harry Ward. Sclerophilia is a fetish about disheveling and dirtying someone. There you go, folks.
I've heard of that. Now you say it. Yeah, I've heard.
Sexy
of that.
stuff.
Very, you like that sort of shit.
Right, let's hit play on that video again, shall we, before this dissolves into chaos.
Like more a new skyscraper with these glasses and windows. Okay, so this picture is from 2012 April. This one is 2012 August. And look at that size. I mean, this is just crazy. They are still building, as you can see, but most of the window fitting and mirrors are on. I think this really looks like an energy generator to me. Look at the spirals at the top and the antenna.
Once again, Barnabas Nagy has seen a television aerial and thinks that it's somehow free energy.
Do you know, with this guy, do you notice how he manages to wrap up several fucking conspiracies all into one video, like the free energy, mud floods? You know, he wraps them all up, doesn't he? Like he's got it all sewn up into one fucking, like, you know, like, yeah, it's all linked, and
He's got the unified conspiracy theory.
Exactly.
Everything is a conspiracy, even his penis.
That's
but yeah, I mean, let's be fair. This is the same guy who thinks the memorial to William Wallace up in Scotland was built, we don't know when, and it was collecting free energy, and because of how it looks, not the fact we know exactly when it was built. We've got the bills for the fucking people who built it. Because let's be fair to the Victorians, they were fucking great at keeping fucking paperwork. So
They
yeah,
were, weren't they? Very convenient. When people talk about when records began, they're always talking about here in about 1876 for some reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, these morons aren't going to be. These morons aren't going to be happy until we're back living in caves, rubbing sticks together to start a cook fire. You know, I mean, seriously, I've been there. I really don't want to go back. I like my refrigerator, thank you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
If Kim Jong eat all the pies that's got free energy, why the fuck aren't North Korea ruling the world?
Yeah,
very true. Well, apparently North Korea control the weather, so.
Oh well,
and they have unicorns.
Well, clearly.
I haven't seen one yet, but yeah, apparently so.
Well, Kim Jong-un probably gave birth to one on his 5th birthday while he did a hole in one.
That must have hurt him. It came out the wrong way.
Well, no, they put it in the national propaganda.
There's a
He
philosophical
found a cave. Oh, sorry.
Right. So that all turned into madness just at the last minute. Chipmunk, give us the end of that sentence again.
No, I just no, don't. I just said something, and I can't remember what the fuck it was.
That's fine. If it comes back to you, I'll come back to you. Sarcastic Barman, I saw you just jump in there. Was it a little thing?
So it was just that they released it on their national propaganda websites and newspapers and stuff like that because Kim Jong-il, was it his dad or him, found a unicorn as a child in a cave in North Korea.
Yeah, that was
And what I was going to say is if he gave birth to a unicorn, if it come out the wrong way, that would fucking hurt.
Oh, right, as I'm taking a drink, man.
Last quickly, right?
Now
Because
that makes
Troglodyte was talking, so I want to give you a chance to actually have you say properly without having to batter all over it. Come on, mate.
Oh, no, sarcastic Barman. That makes me wonder. So, if a unicorn farts in Pyongyang, do we get rainbows in Washington D.C.?
No, you don't. You get them in
Communist rainbows.
I love that. Beautiful. All right, lovely stuff. Let's hit play on the video and see if there's a bit more stupid because there's a couple minutes left. So. Oh, don't say these things to me.
Also, there are the spirals, the coils, collecting free energy from the thin air. And why is it shaped like a rocket? That's the other question. It could also look like a pyramid, but this feature makes it look like a rocket. And this picture is from 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. I would like to go back to Google Maps and just look around a little bit. Look at this picture from the aerial view. I mean, this is just crazy. It has 3 sides, so it's not like a usual rocket, but nevertheless it looks like it. And an energy generator for sure. This base, I'm not sure, but it looks like a little bit like a star fort to me. It's not exactly that, but it has a similar shape. So
I want to know how many star forts he's seen. You know. And what was he on to see that star fort? You know.
I think Barnabas Nagy is available for children's parties.
Yeah, right. With the rubber nose and everything. Say that again, Mr. Sensible. I couldn't quite hear you. You're a bit quiet today, unfortunately. I think we've got a mic issue or two. How about screaming right into that mic for us?
Yeah, I said I wouldn't let him near any kids of mine.
No, definitely
yeah, absolutely.
not.
Not unsupervised. Jesus Christ. Now, Kerry Mack's got a comment for us, I think. Are you out there?
I do, yes.
Brilliant
Casual
stuff. What have you got?
Spaceman wants to know from Barnabas if the world was flooded with mud, where did it come from? But also, 1 Minute Debunk has done some research on the original Hotel in Hill picture, and he now has specific evidence that it's photoshopped. Uh-oh.
Dum-dum-dum. So we're going to get another little 1 minute video about that 1 minute Debunk, because I think that'd be quite cool.
I think
Yeah.
See what it says, shall we?
Yeah, there you go. There's your next video, OMD.
We got you.
Let's hit play on the video again, and the next time we stop, we can mock the fact that he thinks it's a rocket and whatever stupid stuff he says. How about that? Ozman, do you mind hitting?
So this is the interior of the building. Look at the size. It looks like to me it wasn't built for usual humans, but rather for giants. Look how much it is different to all the other architecture here in this town. The next thing I wanted to show you is the North Korea Wikipedia entry, and
were you guys just about to move past him saying a big room is obviously meant for giants?
Well, I mean, we leave it
away with
open. I was hoping someone would jump in, Kennedy. If you've got a good one for it. I mean, yeah, it is fucking ridiculous, but what do you think?
Like, has he ever been to, like, I don't know, a nice hotel?
Yeah, they've got a thing called a suite. Sometimes they're the size of a floor. They're bloody enormous.
Well,
lobbies exist. They're huge.
Yeah.
Well, in Sweden, you've got the ice hotel that they build in the winter.
Yeah.
Very, it's very, very famous attraction. I think he fucking wants to build himself a mud hotel. He'd love it.
Do you think? Just so he can slide around in it like he's on a big old slip and slide on his belly from room to room. I can just see his little face all coated in mud.
Mud packs.
Little mud pies. Him and his friends with little buckets and spades. Oh, it'd be amazing.
He'd fucking love it, wouldn't he? Be in his
Come on,
mud
guys,
elephant.
we can clear the mud out and give ourselves a new city. He'd just love it, bless him. Right, has anyone got anything they'd like to throw in the mix before I hit play again?
I was just going to say, when he says the building looks like a rocket, did anyone ever watch Blake 7?
Oh,
No.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Classic British
When
sci-fi.
looking from above, looking from above with the 3 sort of things, doesn't it look a little bit like that ship? Just needs finishing off.
Yeah, see what you mean. I mean,
that
look, the
was a
problem
very
is-
dirty yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that's mine. I'm agreeing. Wow, look, he's blown it wide open. I'm woke now. The problem is, tall, thin buildings look like rockets because rockets are tall and thin. There's always going to be a bit of a similarity. Although, look, I just got a little message in the background chat that came through Kiri Mac, which is about what 1 Minute Debunk said about that picture of the hotel, where he basically pointed out that actually the perspective is all wrong. The windows at the top are more squashed and the angle of the peak is squashed too, right? So you can physically see there is something wrong with that photo, that you can tell it's been photoshopped.
Well, if you look in the Discord as well, Kerry Max posted the original photo that's obviously been flipped to put in the thingy. Someone posted it in the chat. I missed who posted it in the chat that Kerry then showed for us. OMD, there we go. Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Lovely. Right, I'm gonna get Osman to hit play again now because I really want to get through this video because we've got a couple of other bits and I don't want to have to jump them.
Yeah. At the flag, it looks like the socialist star symbol, but what I was really interested in is the emblem. Look at the emblem. It has this power pole and there's this water power generator, but all of this is about energy generation and growing food, it seems. I also looked for the North Korea Hotel of Doom, and so I found this Fox News article, North Korea's Hotel of Doom, world's tallest empty hotel lights up with state propaganda. Okay, so let's look at the propaganda here. We can see some images here with some words and some scenes of people standing by and some more of that and some architecture there and again some, you know, some words and some architecture, and that's it. And that's propaganda, right? This is propaganda. Go to Times Square. Look at that propaganda, man. Americans say that this North Korea...
Commercialism is not propaganda. Private companies are not elected officials. What the hell is wrong with him?
Indeed.
Yeah. A big sign saying please buy our crap is a bit different to someone saying you will have your haircut like this. North Korea is the best. We are communist. We rule the world.
Yeah,
And
do you know?
I'm going to stop before I get into a racist accent.
Yeah, be very careful.
Bringing
You're
up
already
haircuts.
walking the line. Yes,
You
Chapman,
bringing up
what was that, mate?
haircuts in North Korea, and you probably already knew this is why you said. Did you know that in North Korea, men have 12 state-approved haircuts that they're allowed?
Absolutely, yeah. One of those weird facts about that bloody mad place that they have to look like the dear leaders, basically, one way or the other. It's bizarre.
Something about the flag when he was talking about the logo on the flag. Is it just me, or is North Korea's flag the biggest case of projection that's ever existed? Because like the two things they're known for are a lack of food and a lack of power, and their flag is food and power.
Yeah, they need power because they have rolling blackouts through the country. They have shops not stocked with food. Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of seeing the world as you want it to be, not as it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely. It's a bit. They're a bit crazy over there. But it's all to do with the leadership, though, isn't it? Because you look at the South, and they've got a great
by
economy.
Nagy's standards, they're downright genius. I mean, Nagy is what happens when sea cucumbers grow arms and legs and pretends to be a human being, you know.
Oh,
he's
worrying.
got that much intellect.
Yeah.
He is the super genius of South Korea. North Korea. But no, it's a bit worrying what Barnabas Nagy comes out with. Let's be fair.
I mean, at this point, I
rubbish he
don't
does.
know. I'm basically at the point where I think that Barnabas Nagy is either a madman or an idiot, right? I'm still.
Is
after
there a
all this time and
difference?
all this ridiculousness, I can't tell the difference. Wow.
I think
some madmen can design nuclear bombs, so you can be smart and mental, definitely.
Well, I personally think that he has got less intellect than a fucking bicycle pump.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, although I wouldn't want to get my hands on him if I'm honest.
I don't think Ozman knows he's not muted.
That's all right, Osman. I think you forgot you weren't muted.
Yeah, we was listening there.
Oh, right. He was coming up on the subtitles. I was like, oh, bless.
But they can hear us talking to you.
They can, yeah. So that just sounds like we're all going crazy.
Yeah,
so,
now they just think we're all fucking weird.
Well, aren't we?
weird.
I mean, we're sitting here watching the videos that we watch.
Yes.
I mean, we can't be wrapped too tight.
I think what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, basically, because at this point we've still got quite a bit of Barnabas Nagy left, and we know he only talks the same old nonsense, and we've got someone else to talk to in another couple of bits. I think we're probably going to move on to the next section of the show. Now, if anyone has any final thoughts, they really feel I've got to throw this in now, please
Crack on,
make
sir.
known. Otherwise, I think we'll just shift. Is that all right?
Crack
I think
on,
that's
sir.
fine. Plan.
All right,
I listen
lovely
to any
stuff.
more
Right.
Nagy, my brain's gonna melt out of my ears.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll just ask Kerry Mack if there are any final comments that she wants to bring up before we go on.
Quick one, Glober Mom.
Yeah?
Kim Jong-il supposedly invented the cheeseburger, but no clue what the cheese or the burger was made out of. So she does have some sickening suspicions.
Dear, oh dear. All right, well, look, now we've all got nice and warmed up after that first video, so I think we're going to have a little bit of a break to get our sanity back. Kerry Mack's just given us some comments, as always. Thank you ever so much for that. But we've got something new next that we think you're going to enjoy. Dick, perhaps you'd like to introduce the next part.
You may have missed that.
Oh, have we lost him? Are you there, buddy? I beg your pardon, Kevin. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't catch that either.
He dropped out for your entire introduction of him and just came back in, so he probably missed it.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, let's see if you can hear me at the moment. Dick Dawson, are you in the room at the moment, mate?
No, I think Dick had to step away from the microphone for a little bit. Another matter was pressing.
Oh, I see. I do apologise. I obviously haven't been checking the back chat properly. In which case, I'm going to see if Osman Cometh is ready to play the next section, because we've got a little video which has been put together today by Pete Berube and Dead Kennedy in Space, part of a new feature that we're going to be having on the show called Astronomy Corner. So if it's all right by you, I'd love you to hit play on the video for that one now. I think that was just pre-rolling in the background now. Perhaps if I introduce Pete Berube quickly. Are you in the doing today?
Pretty good. Just can't stand much of that Barnabas guy. It's hard to watch.
Oh, it is difficult, isn't it? Now, you and Dead Kennedy basically put this thing together today. I wonder if you'd like to give us a bit of a rundown of what it's going to be showing us.
In about 20 minutes, mind you.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Pete, and welcome to the Astronomy Corner. The Perseids are coming back. The year's brightest meteor shower comes with a few caveats this time around. The height of the shower is going to be a little less impressive than usual, as it happens to coincide with a full moon in the night sky. Due to the fact that the moon is a big bright party pooper, the shower will include around 10 to 15 meteors per hour at its peak, which is the nights of August 12th and 13th. According to NASA's meteor...
It's playing on YouTube, yeah.
And can they hear me now?
Oh, we're all back.
Ladies and gentlemen, apologies, we're having a few minor technical troubles. And we got the video in at the very last minute, so we're obviously trying to shuffle it into the mix somehow, and I'm not sure it's coming off perfectly. But what we might consider doing then is we'll have a little chat.
Could I just say that it wouldn't be the Shills without the odd minor hitch, would it, eh?
Well, this is it. We've got to have a little creaky moment, haven't we?
Yeah.
Can I just say, this is exactly what happened last week, and we all talked over Babes' video.
Very
it's the exact same thing.
I know. Here we go. Well, not to worry. The problem that I have, of course, is that we've got an option of a video or a different video next. And I'm loath to ask our producer whether or not he's ready to play either of them, really, because I'm just going to have to fill the air otherwise. Osman, what do you reckon you can do for us? Can you do one? Can you do the other?
Or at least sing us a song, Osman.
No, sorry guys. What's actually happened is that I've had to entertain the crew backstage because we've had a few technical difficulties. So I've had to load up a new program which took away my hotkeys. However, I am quite able to start the next video. I won't be able to do the astronomy corner. But I will be able to do the very next video.
Oh, well, that's brilliant stuff. Look, we'll tie this all back together and get back on track then. What we'll do is we'll watch the second video, which is bloody hilarious. We'll let it run through to the end, and then we'll have a nice roundabout at the end where we'll talk about the stupid stuff we've seen and just sort of say goodbye. How does that sound?
I think
that sounds wonderful. And we'll try again with Astronomy Corner again next week. Same time, same channel, and we will work out the glitches between now and then.
Absolutely.
Fucking-lutely.
And in the meanwhile,
Have you got a deck of cards?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm playing Patience.
July 6th, 2007.
Can they hear us now? Okay.
They can't hear any of us.
July 6th, 2007, about 4:30 p.m. I'm just wondering what the heck is in our water supply? What the heck is in our oxygen supply of the metallic oxide salts that create a rainbow effect in a sprinkler? What is oozing out of our ground that allows this type of effect to happen? Not just around our sun and our moon anymore, everywhere we look. The visible spectrum is rainbows. This cannot be natural. We all know it wasn't something that happened 20 years ago, but now it's happening now. We as a nation have got to ask ourselves, what the hell is going on? What is oozing out of our ground?
What is...
Yeah, the reason why they're doing this is to replace chemtrails. They're now, they're going to move away from chemtrails because it's clearly too obvious. People can see what's going on up there. So now they just put it through your water. But the only way you're going to see what's going on is if you water your fucking garden in the sunshine.
Yeah. Funnily enough, that it's got to be in the sunshine, hasn't it? Oh, I wonder why.
And I can't believe that someone can't remember ever seeing that, years ago when they were a kid.
Yeah,
they can't remember seeing rainbows.
Exactly.
Funny that. I thought they were in the Bible.
Just what I was going to say.
Paint the whole world with a rainbow. Chemtrailing the world, but now everybody's caught on. Now they'll stick it in your fucking water. Paint the... Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to say more.
I mean, what does she think the difference is between that and a normal rainbow?
Well, the normal rainbows is because they chemtrail. They've been chemtrailing, since, the dawn of time, clearly.
Yeah, they had those special planes that were pulled by angels.
Yeah.
And fluoridation of the water hasn't worked, obviously.
No.
Clearly not.
So let's rainbow the water.
Well, let's be fair. This woman obviously paid no attention in school to understand how water acts like a prism, how rainbows are actually formed to start with. It's just,
The problem
But
is we
how
all
do we
encountered
know?
this in elementary physics in school, didn't we? We all saw the block of glass, we shine the light through it, splits it into a
Yep.
spectrum. Those of us with any depth of knowledge about it at all know that an entire field of science and observation or measurements come off of it, spectroscopy, right? Which has come up several times as pretty much proof that there are planets other than the Earth and they're not just fucking lights in the sky. In fact, I think it was our own colleague, Dead Kennedy in Space, who pointed that out. I forget where it was exactly. But this is basic year 5 physics. Kennedy, sorry, yes.
I did do a video that mentioned spectroscopy, and it's how we know that stars are what they are. And
Absolutely.
the general counter argument seems to be, but it's too far away, and there's just nothing else to that. They just say it's too far away, and it's like, oh, light suddenly doesn't work anymore.
Well,
Very
exactly.
strange.
Yeah, I know. I never get that, the distance thing. Now, Logical Troglodyte was trying to talk a few seconds ago. I talked over him, and then obviously you talked after me. Have you still got a comment, mate?
Yeah, but how do we really know? How do we know that the rainbows really aren't surveillance systems by the leprechauns?
I'm glad you
personally-
think you had a note of sanity.
Personally, I think all rainbows are fucking CGI anyway. They paint them in the sky, you know when they project the moon as a hologram.
Well, there goes his shill check for the month.
I'd give mine to charity anyway.
Now,
I never get mine.
I've just received some word from the boys at the back there that the video that we managed to screw up the first time round is actually ready to play now. I think what happened was it was playing in YouTube, but we didn't get the audio, so of course we didn't think it was playing, and then we pulled it off again. And actually, we can stick it up and show it to the audience now. So, Osman Cometh, I think you're prepared to do that now, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm ready to play right now.
Brilliant stuff. Well, in that
Yay!
case, it's a very great pleasure that I introduce to you Astronomy Corner by Pete Berube and Dead Kennedy in Space, and we'll just ask them a little bit about it after it's played.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Pete, and welcome to the Astronomy Corner. The Perseids are coming back. The year's brightest meteor shower comes with a few caveats this time around. The height of the shower is going to be a little less impressive than usual, as it happens to coincide with a full moon in the night sky. Due to the fact that the moon is a big bright party pooper, the shower will include around 10 to 15 meteors per hour at its peak, which is the nights of August 12th and 13th. According to NASA's meteor expert Bill Cook, unfortunately, the moon will be very close to full on the night of the peak, which will wash out the fainter Perseids. The Perseids are rich in fireballs, so you will see Perseids. You just won't see the show you've seen on nights when the moon has not been around. It won't be a total washout, he added, because the Perseids are rich in bright meteors, but the moonlight is going to spoil most of the show. If you didn't know, the Perseids occur yearly because the Earth passes through the orbit path of the comet Swift Turtle. During this time, any debris or dust left behind by the comet that Earth passes through wind up as meteors streaking through the night sky. So while it may look like the meteors are coming towards us, we're actually moving towards them. In other news outside of our solar system, the Hubble Space Telescope has made a pretty interesting discovery. Recent observations have revealed magnesium and iron gas escaping a heavy metal exoplanet called WASP-121b. This is the first time such heavy metals have been observed escaping a hot Jupiter-like planet, and due to its close distance to its star, the planet also experiences intense gravitational forces that have altered its shape. WASP-121b isn't an oblate spheroid. It's more like a football, an American football that is. The information being gathered from this planet can tell us a lot about how planets' atmospheres form and eventually dissipates as it gets closer to its star, as well as the process of planet being ripped apart by tidal forces as the distant star closes. It's an amazing universe out there, from our own solar system to far, far beyond. Keep your eyes on the skies, space cowboys.
In space. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to close down the show in pretty much a few minutes' time because our erstwhile producer will have left. So, what I'm going to do instead is basically go once round the table and say goodbye to everybody and see if they've got any final thoughts. So, I'm going to start with Sarcastic Barman. How are you doing, mate? What do you got to say?
I'm good,
and say
thanks,
goodbye?
mate. Oh, I've just got to say, Barnabas Nagy, you're a fucking moron. The woman who can't understand how fucking rainbows work, you need to go back to school. I know fucking 6-year-olds with more fucking knowledge about light than that. Jesus Christ. Shine light through water, get rainbow. Fuck's sake. And that bit with Jupiter and the detecting the planet with heavy metals and stuff, that was fucking awesome.
Fascinating.
So yeah, we'll move on because I know we're in a rush.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Next, let's move on to Logical Troglodyte. What do you think about the evening's events?
I think that no matter what your innate gifts of intelligence are, and I don't expect anybody to be a genius, you know, just read a book and take your own intelligence as far as it will go and look something up before you open your mouth and say something incredibly friggin' stupid.
Absolutely. Well said, that man. I think that was a fantastic sentiment and needs to be listened to by, frankly, everyone in the room. Chipmunk the Drunk Monkey, sir, what do you think about the day's events?
Well, Barnabas Nagy, as we all know, is a dumb fuck.
Quite.
And all I'm thinking of is, like, imagine, you know, the rainbow lady, right? If she's out in the garden saying all that, imagine if her 4-year-old daughter walked out and caught her saying that and said, Mummy, it's just what happens when water, you know, the sun shines through water. You get rainbows. I learnt it at play school.
Exactly. I just don't understand.
That's
Right,
it, mate.
okay.
What else can you fucking say?
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting watching a Barnabas video. And then when we coupled it with the idiot woman who doesn't understand rainbows, I mean, I can barely put a coherent sentence together at the moment. I feel like headbutting things. Dave Kennedy in space, perhaps you can bring some intelligent and thoughtful comments of what's happened tonight.
Oh, I have nothing thoughtful about Barnabas. He's hilarious. I'll give him that.
Yes, he is.
He's
He's
very
hilarious.
entertaining. But I don't know. I'm glad we were able to end with something a little more sane, with, you know, some real astronomy, some real science.
Man. Right.
And just one quick thing. I knew this was going to happen when I wrote the script. It's Comet Swift Tuttle, not Turtle.
Yeah, I know. It took me like 5 tries not
Turtle.
to do that. I still did it.
I just
Well,
wanted to say that
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see some new faces in the chat tonight. So awesome, guys. Thanks for all the
Lovely
new
stuff.
faces. And thanks for all of you. We love you all.
All right, indeed. Thank you for that, Jumpmonk. That's a beautiful sentiment. Look, Pete Baruba, you were just talking, so I wondered if I could get at least your comment on today, because we've shuffled on a bit quickly. I didn't have a chance to talk to you as much as I'd like to, but I wondered if you had any quick comments you wanted to shout out to anyone, you had anything to say, basically.
Oh yeah, well, thanks for supporting the video. There will be some more of those coming in the future. Don't have it, you know, downwind just yet, but there will be more of those astronomy corners coming soon.
Oh, that's brilliant stuff. And what did you think of the stuff that we've had on tonight? Any thoughts about Barnabas Nagy or the Rainbow Lady?
I try not to think about Barnabas, but the Rainbow Lady, like, does she not like play with water as a child or at any point in her life to notice that the sun creates rainbows no matter what the misting water is?
It's crazy, right? How do you miss this your whole life? Now, there's a couple more people left to ask. I've got Kerry Mack, firstly. What do you think about tonight? Have you got any comments for us or any thoughts of your own that you want to add before we say goodbye?
Yeah, as we say in Scotland, these guys are total fannies. There is no other way to say it. But I have
Beautiful.
some useful information from the chat, if you like. So,
Oh, yeah, why
Kristen
not?
Frost Laserbeam wants a taco. Gary wants a curry, and A.B. Hogan also wants a curry. So, you know, where else can you hear that information? Come on.
Well, absolutely. Only here on the Shills,
I
folks.
want
So
a
make sure you
curry.
come back.
Ah.
Right. Now, well, I think I heard the voice of the man himself. Osman Cometh, are you still in the room, sir? What do you think about tonight's show?
Oh boy.
That good, huh? I've left him speechless. Come on, mate. Come on, get at least a sentence out, and then we'll say goodbye.
I've legitimately lost 20 IQ points. Legitimately.
Oh, God. We can't subject you to too much more Barnabas Nagy then. Well, look, thank you very much for coming, and thanks for helping us out when we had that little panic there. I want to
Look,
see if
there's a-
Dick Dawson's actually back in the room.
Mr. Sensible, is he still about?
He certainly
course
is, but
I am.
I'm going through the panel before I say goodbye to our
Okay.
special guest. Is Dick Dawson here? Okie dokie. So, right, I think I'm going to go straight on to Mr. Sensible to say goodbye then, sir. How are you doing, mate?
Not so bad, Jim, and I really, really appreciate everyone inviting me here today. I've enjoyed it, and
You're more than welcome.
well, seeing people like Barnabas Nagy and the Rainbow Lady, what's really amazing is no matter how dumb they are, there's someone out there dumber, and that's really shocking and really sad.
Yeah, do you know what? You put the nail on the head perfectly there. It is sad, is what it is. We have a good old laugh, but when you stop and think about it, you just have to shake your head and think, what the hell has actually happened to the world? People think television aerials are electricity carrying devices, and that hotels were built up mountains, and mountains were made of mud, and it's all just a confusing mess of absolute nonsense. I think everyone on the panel today has given me some brilliant insight into that. I want to thank the guests that we've got today. Obviously, we've got Pete Berube. He's not a guest so much as a sort of a shill, but we didn't get much chance to talk to him. So thank you again for coming. And of course, Mr. Sensible, thank you very much indeed for coming, talking a bit about your work and helping us debunk some of this nonsense. Now,
thank you. But can I just also say, just very briefly, I've seen quite a few names in the chat of people who comment and chip in on my videos, and I want to say thanks because I really, really appreciate all the comments people throw in there. So thank you.
yeah, absolutely. That's a wonderful sentiment. Thank you. I think that's pretty much all that I have left to say on my little list here. As far as I'm concerned, once again, we've seen how dangerous a thing a little knowledge can be. Now, you've heard from everyone here. We're basically going to say goodbye now. Now, I don't know whether or not I shilled out for anything at the beginning. I wanted to point out that I have got an interview with End the Conspiracy coming. It's a bit delayed, but do keep an eye out for that. I know all of the rest of the team have got various bits and bobs that are coming out that you want to keep an eye on as well. Don't forget that we'll be back on Saturday, and Mr. Sensible will be putting out a smorgasbord of material as time goes on. So you absolutely have to get over to his channel and subscribe there. Now, thanks for coming. I think we'll see you next time. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. I've been Jim Bojo. This has been the Silly Shill Midweek Show, and we've been the Shills. Good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Catch you on the flip side.
Oi!